Good. How you doing?
How do you feel like your defense? They performed well in the scrimmage. How do you feel like they've come back this week?
I wasn't happy the last practice. This one, I thought we got lined up quicker. Faced the tempos and handled some things. We've really kind of just, held off on install and just trying to play football and get them to play with the effort that it takes. The swarm to the ball.
What do you think has kind of been the reason more? Maybe they're up for a scrimmage and then maybe come back down a little bit and maybe don't maintain it. Maybe practice.
That's leadership. And I challenge the guys, the older players in our room, that's on them. They got to make sure that we have a consistent level of play every time we take the field, and that's a sign of an immature team. So we need more leadership so that doesn't happen.
How much, I guess, do you challenge them to have a sense of urgency here down the stretch with just a very few number of practices left?
Yeah, a tremendous sense of urgency, and then the big thing too is you're trying to do things so that and you're building a video bank for them to study and for the freshmen to come in to study over the summer so that they can do things on their own when the coaches aren't around. So those are some of the things that we're trying to do, the problematic formations and routes, so that they understand coming into fall camp, hey, this is what we have to face and the things that give us the problems.
It's kind of the last major scrimmage on Saturday. What's the next step for them? What are you looking for out of your unit?
I'm looking for them to compete. I'm looking for them to, run to the ball. I'm looking for them to tackle, looking for them to communicate, and then finally execute. All those things are crucial to playing great defense. So that's kind of where we're at.
You referenced the pace of install and that it's been pretty basic and pretty slow. Has it been a little slower than you're accustomed to, or pretty standard? Or
no, it's pretty standard. The thing is that we have to hit all the different personnel groups. We have to hit, 12 personnel and 2 back personnel and 22, personnel, 2 tight ends, goal line. So, there's a lot that goes into it. And so you want to make sure that you have a progression of teaching that makes sense, to your players, because you got to cover a lot of different things. I mean, you look, in our league, you're going to go from, for us playing Oregon to playing Florida to playing Alabama. So you got to have a lot of things in place so that they can play by rule and all that.
You guys got to the quarterback a few times in the last scrimmage. Just how do you feel about your pass rush in general? Right
now? I think our pass rush, our four down pass rush has to get better. We don't have a tremendous edge presence right now. When we blitz, I think we're doing some good things, but that you can't do that all the time. You got to be able to play coverage on third down and hopefully impact the quarterback with your front four, and that's where. We're pretty predictable right now. If we get you into a third down situation and we want to get after the quarterback, right now we're doing it through pressure, whereas obviously we want to graduate and grow and move towards, just the front four getting the pressure and us playing some form of coverage.
Do you see any of those defensive ends kind of maybe develop?
Yeah, they're all getting better. They're all trying to do it the right way. Troy had a sack today, and Jordan in the scrimmage really did a nice job on one of our line stunts, and he had a sack. So those guys are getting better. It's a level of consistency from each and every single day that's going to get us to where we want to go.
Did you feel like the secondary did a pretty good job of not letting the receivers get that open during the scrimmage?
Yeah, I thought they did some good things, but the receivers dropped a couple balls too. We had guys in position. They just got to make plays. So.
Do you see them progressing in that role?
Yeah, I do. I see them getting better with some of the things that we're doing. They're working at it. Obviously we're not perfect right now.
Coach, you look particularly animated at times this morning on the practice field. Are you just trying to send a message, or?
Yeah, it's a level of intensity that we have to have, and we want results. And to get those results, there's a competitive nature that has to be in place. There's a level of intensity and passion that has to be in place to get those results the way we want them, and that's our intentions. And we're not going to, settle for anything less than doing it the right way. So that's what you're seeing in those cases.
How much closer are the guys to playing with the consistency and the urgency that you demand and say they were?
We're in practice number 11. I see them starting to, kind of taper off now. We got to keep it going. We got to finish strong. and I wasn't real happy with the last practice, with our tempo and the way we, ran to the ball. So hopefully we'll see a better product from this practice.
Daniel Hood said that by you keeping it pretty simple, that the defense has been able to play faster. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, your intentions are to get them to play faster by keeping it simple, but it's still an effort. It's still a mentality. It's still a mindset. These guys got to make sure that that's the foundation of our defense and not the scheme. So that's been our message here pretty consistently.
Have you gradually added more to the defense with from the beginning of practice?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've installed and progressed. I mean, it's not like we couldn't go out and put in another blitz, for Saturday, and we should be able to execute it. All the rules are in place, So that's really once you get your rule sets, how you're going to handle empty, how you're going to handle certain route combinations in your pressures. It should be easy to add a pressure, without changing those rule sets. You don't want to change them.
Have you put in most of the defense, or is there a lot more to come?
We still have a lot.
So you'll install more through the spring and then more in August?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll get this spring. We got to get a couple things. Versus some of the bigger personnel groups. The 21s, the 12s, the 22s. 2 backs, 2 tight ends.
This pace of install, is this sort of where it benefits? A lot of you coaches have been together before and have some familiarity.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we have good coaches. I mean, football is football. There's some things that we always have to decide how we're going to play here and there, but for the most part, we're all, on the same page and the same background.
Let's say on